Good morning, my sweet love bugs. I'm so glad to see you here this morning. To see that you clicked on today's video lets me know where your heart is. See, no one will watch these kinds of videos unless they are seeking a closer relationship with God. That is why I'm always very upfront with the title as to what is inside these videos. I was thinking of just doing another Throwback Thursday video, but decided no, it's time to share this particular word. I've been holding on to it for so long and have been reserved when it came to my feelings on this topic, but I feel strong enough, bold enough in my faith today to just come on and share my heart on the matter with you. And stick with me because I have a short story that I wrote on the topic towards the end. It is so easy to follow a crowd, even when scripture is clear on not following the crowd. Let's look at this passage really quick. 3 John 1:11 says, "Dear friend, do not imitate what is evil, but what is good. Anyone who does what is good is from God. Anyone who does what is evil has not seen God." Following the crowd can seem easy, even if it isn't the right thing to do, for several reasons. First is social acceptance. Humans have a natural desire to fit in and be accepted by others. Conforming to the behavior and opinions of the group can provide a sense of belonging and reduce the fear of being ostracized or judged. I have participated in conversations often when I felt I didn't belong and just wanted to be a part of something. It never lasted too long though, because I'm geared differently and I don't fit into those groups very well anyway. The second reason is peer pressure. The influence of peers can be powerful. When those around us are engaging in certain behaviors or holding specific beliefs, it can be challenging to go against the grain, especially if we fear the negative repercussions. I've stayed in certain circles out of fear of rejection, or even ridicule from people I once thought as friends. The third reason is comfort in numbers. There is safety in numbers. Being part of a larger group can provide a sense of security, even if the group's actions or beliefs are misguided. This can make it easier to ignore personal doubts or moral qualms. That is until it becomes too much for you yourself to bear. It's not easy going with the flow when you know that you were born different than others, with different morals, and your moral compass is not the same as others. The fourth reason is cognitive ease. Following the crowd often requires less mental effort in thinking critically and making independent decisions. It is easier to go along with what others are doing rather than to analyze the situation and determine the best course of action on our own. Trust me, you become numb when you just follow the crowd, even if their motives were good in the beginning. Don't get me wrong. I had something in common with them, and it became difficult to separate myself from them completely, until I became strong enough. The fifth reason is authority and conformity. People tend to defer to perceived authority figures, or the majority, assuming that that group must be right. This is related to the psychological principle of conformity, where individuals adjust their behavior to align with the group. Oh yes, the whole "don't you dare go against the leader" isn't really a thing in most social circles of adults. I know, though I have witnessed many who felt trapped, not knowing how to escape on their own. The sixth reason is fear of conflict. Standing up against the crowd can lead to conflict, which many people prefer to avoid. It can become uncomfortable and stressful to confront others, or to take a stand that might be unpopular. I don't personally like conflict and will do all I can to fix the situation. From a Christian perspective, resisting the temptation to follow the crowd involves trusting in God's guidance and seeking His wisdom. Romans 12:2 advises, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, His good, pleasing, and perfect will." By seeking God's will and relying on His strength, it becomes possible to make righteous choices, even when they go against the crowd. I want to share a short story I wrote on this topic, to share my heart with you on this matter. As you listen, I ask that you try to envision the story and put you as the main character, Sarah. The neighborhood group. Sarah was a stay-at-home mom who loved her 3 children dearly. Her days were filled with chaos and joy of raising them, but sometimes she felt isolated. When she was invited to join a neighborhood moms group, she eagerly accepted, hoping for companionship and support. The group met every Wednesday afternoon at Laura's house. At first, it seemed perfect. The moms would chat over coffee while their children played together. However, Sarah soon noticed that the conversations often took a negative turn. The moms frequently gossiped about others who weren't present, criticizing their parenting styles and making hurtful comments. Sarah felt uncomfortable with the gossip, but she didn't want to be the odd one out. She found herself nodding along and occasionally adding her own comments to fit in. Each time she left those meetings, she felt a growing sense of guilt. She knew in her heart that this behavior was wrong and contrary to her Christian values. One Sunday, during a sermon, her pastor spoke about the power of words and the importance of using them to build others up rather than tear them down. He quoted Ephesians 4:29, "Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen." This message struck a chord with Sarah, and she realized she needed to make a change. She prayed for wisdom and courage to do the right thing. The next Wednesday, she went to the meeting with a resolve to steer the conversation away from gossip. When the group started to gossip about a mom who was not there, Sarah gently interjected, "I was reading a beautiful verse from Ephesians the other day about the importance of speaking kindly about others. It reminded me of how much we all have on our plates and how little encouragement can go a long way." The room fell silent for a moment. Then Laura, the host, spoke up. "You know, Sarah, you're right. We should focus on supporting each other rather than tearing each other down." The other moms nodded in agreement, and the conversation shifted to more positive topics. Encouraged by this small victory, Sarah continued to use gentle reminders from her faith to guide the group's discussions in a more uplifting direction. Over time, the nature of the meetings changed. The moms started to share their struggles and victories openly, offering each other genuine support and advice. The group became a source of strength and encouragement rather than negativity. Sarah was thankful for God's guidance and the courage He gave her to stand up for what was right. By holding onto her faith and dignity, she was able to transform not only her own behavior, but also that of her friends. She learned that even in the face of peer pressure, one person's positive influence, guided by faith, can make a significant difference. So now it's my time to take Sarah's lead. I ask you, yes you, refrain from gossiping about someone, and instead come up with 3 things you'd like about that person instead. If you can't come up with 3 things, then apparently you do not know them well enough to discuss them. I hate that this platform, which I love so much, has grown so cold, bitter, and downright ugly, and it's people just coming on here to talk about other people, to tear them down with no intention of lifting someone else up. It's not the same old community building YouTube that we all used to know and love. Put yourself in the person's shoes that you want to talk about. Is what you want to say good enough to be said about you? If not, then don't say it. I don't know about you, but we live in some very dark times, and I need all the encouragement I can find. And you can help change someone's life by lifting them up instead of tearing them down. And that is it for today. I hope that this video encouraged and inspired you to take heed of your words and to stop following a crowd that's leading you nowhere, because gossip goes nowhere. It doesn't build up. It's not there for strength. It's not there for encouragement. It's there to tear down. Sure, sitting around talking about others is fun. I know, I've been there. I've done it. But I challenge you to stop doing it. I challenge you the next time you hear someone talk about someone to let this video come back into your mind. Come back and listen to Sarah's story again if you need to. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.